Hello and welcome back. Well, we've made it. After 19 parts journeying through the entire history of wireless, we are finally at our last stop, the future. Today, we are wrapping up this whole series by taking a good, hard look at the next giant leap in connectivity. So let's dive in and see what's coming. And just to set the stage, yes, this is it, part 20. The final explainer in our deep dive, all based on that incredibly detailed report from the RFI detectives. We have covered decades of the past and present, and now it is all about what's just over the horizon. So here's what we've got on deck for our final chapter. We'll kick things off with a look at this new wireless horizon, then jump straight into the mind-blowing performance of Wi-Fi 7. After that, we'll tackle the super important topic of future security threats, talk about a practical way to migrate, and then wrap it all up with so you can get ready for what's coming. Okay, so after 19 chapters of looking back, from the original 802.11 standard all the way to the intricacies of WPA3, our focus is now 100% forward. For all you IT professionals out there, this part is all about getting your networks ready for tomorrow, today. And the star of that future is without a doubt Wi-Fi 7. This isn't just another small step up. We're talking about a major redesign of how we even think about wireless speed and, maybe more importantly, reliability. And I want you to really let this sink in. The source material calls this the most ambitious revision since MIMO. I mean, wow, that is a massive statement. It's telling us this is a fundamental, ground-up shift, not just another little speed bump. So what is this thing exactly? Well, Wi-Fi 7 is the name you'll see on the box, but for us, it's the IEEE 802.11be standard. And I have to be super clear here, that's 802.11be. Please do not confuse this with the ancient 802.11b standard from back in the day. This new standard is designed for one thing above all else, just absolutely extreme throughput. And look, this isn't some science fiction tech we're dreaming about. Part 1 of the standard was published in May of 2024. Certified products actually started shipping early in the year, and we're expecting the whole thing to be fully ratified by the end of 2024. This is happening right now. So when you boil it all down, the engineers behind this had two crystal clear goals. First, obviously, deliver that extreme throughput for huge files and tons of data. But second, and this is the real game changer, provide ultra-low and deterministic latency. That means it's not just fast, it's predictably fast, which is absolutely crucial for real-time stuff. And this is why that deterministic part matters so much. We're talking about the tech that's going to power the next decade. Think about immersive, high-res, extended reality, or mission-critical industrial automation where even a millisecond of lag can cause huge problems. Or just having a perfectly smooth cloud gaming experience. These are the things that need Wi-Fi 7.
But you know the deal. With incredible speed comes incredible responsibility. A faster, bigger network is a more attractive target. So let's pivot and talk about how Wi-Fi 7 is handling security.
Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that Wi-Fi 7 doesn't try to reinvent the wheel here. It mandates WPA3. That means it inherits all those great robust features we talked about with Wi-Fi 6, like simultaneous authentication of equals, or SAE, and mandatory protected management frames. It's building on a foundation that we already know is really, really strong. But that strong foundation is facing a pretty profound threat on the horizon. On one hand, you've got today's gold standard, WPA3, using some really tough elliptic curve cryptography. But on the other hand, we have the looming threat of what they call quantum adversaries, basically quantum computers that could one day be powerful enough to just shatter the encryption we all rely on today. So what's the plan? The answer is a whole new field called post-quantum cryptography, or PQC for short. These are brand new cryptographic systems being built from the ground up to be secure against attacks from both the computers we use today and the quantum computers of tomorrow. This is the next frontier in cybersecurity, for sure. Okay, so all this brings us to the really practical, real-world challenge, right? We've got this incredible new tech and this big, scary future threat. How do you, as an IT pro, actually bridge that gap? Let's talk about a migration plan. So the biggest hurdle for most organizations is what the source material calls the legacy client problem. And it's simple, really. If your network has devices that were deployed before 2015, you are going to have a tough time upgrading. These older devices can literally hold your entire network's security and performance back. So what do you do? Here are the actionable steps. Step 1. Upgrade and replace. It's time to identify those old printers, scanners, or that ancient piece of industrial gear that just can't handle WPA3 and get them off your network. Step 2. For those few critical devices you just can't replace, you have to isolate and contain. That means either plugging them into a wired connection, or if they have to be wireless, putting them on their very own tiny isolated Wi-Fi cell with some seriously aggressive rate limiting. All right, we have covered a ton of ground here in our final chapter. So let's bring it all home and wrap up with the key takeaways you should be thinking about right now. Think of this as your Wi-Fi 7 checklist. First, you have to acknowledge the absolutely massive performance jump of 802.11be. Second, for security today, lean on that mandated WPA3 standard. It's your best friend. Third, start planning for that post-quantum cryptography era. It's not a matter of if, but when. And finally, get proactive. Address that legacy client problem with a real, thought-out migration plan. And so, as we close out not just this explainer, but this entire 20-part series, I want to leave you with one last question to chew on. We are about to enter an age of wireless speed and capability unlike anything we've ever seen before. So the crucial question we all have to ask ourselves is this: as our speed accelerates into the future, is our security strategy truly keeping pace? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey.